What's up, everybody? This is the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. I'm your host, Colum Tyrrell. Before we get started, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing. But while the podcast grows with subscribers, more people will see it. This thing will grow like a motherfucker, and we'll all become super rich while you pay nothing. Thank you very much for your support. If you're listening on iTunes, give us a review, 5 stars. It does help grow this thing. Also, if you like what you're listening to or what you're watching, consider leveling up and coming over to the Patreon. It starts at just $5 a month, and you can get all the back catalog of all the other previous podcasts that I've done. That's pretty much it. If you want to see me live, I'm currently on tour, for lack of a better word, with Mike Rainey and Tim Budley of the Dad Me Podcast. The link will be in the description below. The new studio was built. Things are going well. It's still early days. Obviously, this doesn't really mean much to you if you're listening to the audio, but if you're watching, you'll see I've got a curtain. It's very fancy, and we're still improving on it, and I can only really do that with your help over at the Patreon. So right now, we're crushing it, and I appreciate everybody who has a couple of dollars to spare and help me grow this thing. We got a very special guest on today, first guest in the new studio, Josh Potter. Please make sure you check out his stuff. He has a podcast called The Josh Potter Show. If you can, just take a moment, head over there to one of his videos, write a little comment saying, I saw you on TCTP. Is that it? TCTP? I saw you on the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. I love your face. Something like that. I want people who come on this show to guest. I want them to actually see a result of it. Josh is a great guy. He's open for Tom Segura. He's one of the LA guys. One of the very few LA guys who's actually a nice fucking real guy. It happens every now and again that one of them is ugly and they're nice guys. They're legit fucking... They care about comedy. They just want to drink and smoke and have fun. They don't really care too much about image. There's a lot of shit going on. A lot of LA, they're fake, they're phonies, they're pedophiles. It's you know who I'm talking about, right? Josh is one of the real ones. He's one of the boys, and I had a lot of fun talking with him today. I can't think of anything else I want to plug, but listen, guys, I hope you find the love of your life and then you cheat on her. So, without further ado, here is Josh Potter. Enjoy. All right, we are in. Hello, Josh Potter.
What's up, my man?
How are you? Thank you for joining me today.
Dude, thanks for having me.
Welcome to the palace.
Yeah, this is great. I'm so happy for you that you got your space.
Yeah, we're doing our best. We were just talking about something. Let's crack straight into it. There was an article going around about 3 brothers, which is like a good start of any movie.
Right.
3 of them. It's a good number.
Yes.
And I guess they found out that their stepfather was molesting their little sister.
Oh, this movie's getting even better.
You said 9-year-old?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how old were the brothers?
So we got Johnny over here, Johnny G, the glove, the glove star. He's let us know what we need to know about this article.
Yeah,
please.
So according to reports in the area, the teenage brothers killed the stepfather for allegedly sexually abusing their 9-year-old sister. Alejandro and Christian Trevino, 18, are both accused of severely beating Gabriela Quintanilla.
Nailed it. Crushed it.
Oh, yeah. I sensed,
are
you Latino?
Yeah, I didn't know you were fluent there.
So, 42-year-old, and leaving him to die in a southern Texas field.
So that was the 2 brothers. How is the other one involved, I wonder? The third.
Yeah. They said they were about 18, so they're twins?
Or are they not blood?
Maybe.
Interesting.
Not going to, and then I guess a friend?
Ooh.
Oh, it's 2 brothers and a friend. I thought it was 3 brothers.
You know, in the Latino community, sometimes hermano, amigo, it all is the same, you know?
Yes, that is
interchangeable. So, you know, if I'm a guy and my 2 buddies who are brothers, their sister's getting, I'm going to go fuck up that dad too, you know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. We don't have that in the white community.
I don't think so.
Brotherhood is not a...
No, I think that's true, yeah. I think you're actually closer to your friends than your actual brother in the white community, right?
Possibly, yeah.
You call your friend your brother more than your brother. Like, I haven't talked to that asshole in 10 years, my real brother, my biological brother. But the sister is 9. That's so fucked up. And the dad, do you think the dad, he tried to plead with the brothers, like, you guys can do it too? What are you talking about? Get in on it. Come on.
It was actually out of jealousy. The brothers. It wasn't.
That's exactly,
it wasn't that they didn't
like,
like
you're
it.
fucking her. We wanted to fuck.
They said, you're fucking her too?
Yeah,
She's cheating on us with you? Maybe. It is. It makes sense to go out and kill someone who's raping your sister, right?
Sure.
I would say of all the...
Or daughter or whatever. I mean, like, that's the other thing. Like the guy,
or daughter.
Yeah. Like if it was the other way around, like if the dad found the brother was doing it to the daughter, would he murder? You know what I mean? Like, could that be a thing too? Or is it like, they're both my kids?
Well,
I have to still love my son or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. What about the step? If it was, let's say, the stepfather here found out that one of his stepsons was molesting his stepdaughter, would he just be like, you know what? This is like a blood thing.
Sure. Like you just walked into, you're Gary and you just walked into like this whole situation and you're like, hey, whoa, what's going on in here? Did you tell the wife? And she's like, they have their fun. I would get the fuck out of there. Yeah.
I just don't get involved. You go, this family
cannot get involved. That's a white guy thing where you just go, I'm going to wash my hands of this.
They go, dude, you cannot be molesting your sister. And they're like, you're not my real dad. Like, okay, but I pay the bills around here.
Yeah.
Go live with them if you...
As long as you're under my roof, you're not going to be molesting your sister anymore.
It would be funny to see an incest porn where it's like an actual, like, it's like, a stepbrother and a stepsister, they end up fucking, and then the dad, it's always like they get caught, Yeah,
they get caught, and then usually they join in.
They join in, whereas they should actually get caught and then
get murdered.
He loses his temper and he murders the brother.
That would be a fun ending.
And then him and the daughter have to like get rid of the body. They roll it up in a carpet and dump it in a field.
I came 12 minutes ago. This porn is still... It's going really. It's really elaborate.
And just her crying. And he's like, "Get it together! Get it together!" So that was all the information on the thing, right?
Yeah.
Murdering a pedophile is an interesting. It's a sticky wicket, because it's like you're doing good, but like you're also you're taking justice in your own hands, and that's why we were saying
it's the ultimate vigilante, beautiful,
right. How many people, though, like, murder a guy, and then it come to find out that guy happened to be a pedophile also? It just so happened he was a pedophile? That it should, like, go retroact. See? Look, I'm a good guy,
Yeah, that's what I'd be playing on. He was a pedo. He's like, did you know that? He's like, no.
Yeah.
He cut me off in traffic.
Look into it. I don't know. He could have been a pedophile. We don't know. I had a story back home of a guy. This man was driving down a highway, had narcolepsy, fell asleep, careened off of the road into a park, struck a child.
Oh, God.
The child died, and a man witnessed this, and he ran up to the car and pulled the driver out and beat the shit out of him.
Jesus.
And everyone was like, what a hero.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucked up. That guy should be in jail for assault. The guy didn't aim for the kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not like he was like, ooh, there's a kid and drove towards him or anything like that. And then because
what did he have? You said he had a what?
He had narcolepsy, which is like where you fall asleep. Like, and I guess he didn't take his medication or something. So he fell asleep at the wheel. And
they might have been listening to this podcast. Hey, wait to trash myself. Let me hit myself with a soundboard.
But the wild thing, like, so the press was like lauding this man as a hero, and other people were like, that's fucked up. This guy is not a hero. He's not even like a vigilante or anything like that. He did no good in this situation. And the press, to like cover their tracks, dug into the driver's past and like found out that he was downloading kiddie porn in the 90s. So they're like, see? He is a piece of shit that should have got the shit kicked out of him. And I was like, that's fucked up. I mean, like, it's not like the guy knew that when he went in. You know what I mean? It's not like a guy got out of the car and was like jerking off because he saw the kid in the road. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, this guy just ran over the thing he loves more than anything.
Yeah, that would be... Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's fucked up over it more than most of us probably,
Yeah. That was that the worst thing he ever did to a kid? We don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Did he kill the guy or no?
No, he just beat the shit out of him. And then...
While he was asleep?
Well, he was like coming... He was just in an accident, and the guy was just like, get out! And he just beat the shit out of him. I don't know if he was like awake or like... obviously he just had an impact. He went through a guardrail.
Maybe he was jerking off while he was driving. Yeah. And then he crashed. And then he goes, I have that thing where I fall asleep after I come. Interesting.
Yeah, it was wild.
That would be great to like murder someone. Let's say you get in a fist fight with someone, New York City, subway. Next thing you know, you hit him and he falls in front of the tracks, and then you murder him, and you go, oh, shit. And then they go, oh, actually, he was wanted by police for it.
Yeah, he was actually evading the police for.
Yeah, he was a drug lord or something.
Yeah,
you're just like, fuck yes.
Yeah, I think that like even I would be like upset if I murdered a drug dealer, because I'd be like, he's just trying to make some money or whatever. Or even a guy who did like petty theft. But like rapist and pedophile, those ones I wouldn't care about, like pushing in front of a subway.
Yeah. And I have my audience will definitely be like, yo, fuck this pedophile. I have a very fuck the pedophile.
Right. All right.
audience.
Well, hey, that's good to have.
We've
it's
got
better than having an audience that's like, we support you as a pedophile.
I'm not.
Which is some of the comics out there. They're like, oh, we got your back, pedophile.
I listen. I've said this though, right, for years, right, about it. This makes sense. This is the logical thing, right? If someone goes like, hey, look, I was born with, I don't know, whatever happens in my brain, or themselves, they were molested as a kid, so then they've grown up with
broken.
They're broken, and they've got a thirst for fucking kids.
Yeah.
Right? That
it's got to be a fucking hell to have that in your brain.
And so in theory, if a friend of mine came out to me and went, look, man, I'm in therapy, I've got these urges for kids, I do not act on them in any way, I have like medication that like kills my libido, I'm talking about it, I'm your friend. I'd be like, that's amazing.
No, sure. I'd go, you're strong. Stay strong,
incredible.
Please. Yeah.
But I'd be like, we can't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
I can't be walking around with a pedo.
No, you'd say that.
I just can't.
You go, I've got your back, I support you. But then you're like, I can't fucking chill with Randy anymore.
There's no way I'm going to a fucking.
Because you start talking about girls, and you're like, oh wait. You don't even fucking.
Yeah. Every time like a little boy walks by, you go, "Oh, Randy,
that's
Randy,
the thing.
Stop."
I feel bad for gay people because there was a time when being gay, people would like surmise that you're also a pedophile. Do you know what I mean? Because
which
of that,
is what 70%.
Well, I don't.
at most.
But it's so funny. I wonder. I'm like, are there gay pedophiles and straight pedophiles, or are they just like all the kids?
There is.
Boy and girl?
They do have a thing. Yeah, there's either. It's like they'll only. My next door neighbor was a pedophile. Turns out. And his name. Did we talk about this like 2 weeks ago? Roger, remember Roger the Dodger, my neighbor?
Did he have to come? Did you know this because he had to come over and be like, "I'm moving into the neighborhood. I need 800." Signatures.
No, we don't. First of all, Irish people don't have enough neighbors for that type of stuff. So we just know if you move in, everyone knows you're a pedo.
Okay, yeah, they don't even need a petition.
Also, everyone will be on the street all day knocking around. It's just way too many.
They don't send out those alerts where they're like sex offenders moving into the neighborhood, because they have those here in America.
Do they? No.
Oh yeah. And
what type of app is that?
It's not an app. You get like a letter. It's like, there's, just so you know, 15 houses over, a pedophile's moving in, and you're like, oh my god,
Well,
now I got this fucking.
New York's insane. Have you ever looked up the fucking pedo registry?
Not only have I looked them up, I have a video on YouTube of me when I was in radio.
Not only have I'm a pedo of the month 4 times running.
In radio, I did a bit where I went, because they're not allowed to answer the door for any reason on Halloween. Like, they're not allowed to go outside. They can't answer the door for
like vampires
any
or
reason.
something.
Yeah,
that's insane. That's like.
So I went around and I tested the theory. And
they locked themselves in a room like a werewolf.
In their house, they have to stay in there.
No matter how much I scream in there, don't you dare.
Deliveries, anything. A family member comes over.
So
anyone comes to the door.
They stock up prior to Halloween.
Well, yeah.
Like they're expecting a blizzard and they go,
exactly.
Right,
they got to stay in there from sun up till sundown or something like that. And so I went around testing it for this radio bit, and nobody answered, thankfully.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere in New York. There's a database.
Oh, sure.
Every single block.
And they're all publicly listed.
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's more than just New York. I mean, you go to Indiana or something like that, and you go in any given neighborhood, you can find probably like 4 or 5 sex offenders. And by the way, sex offenders sometimes isn't always pedophile. I feel bad about. I'm glad that they're changing this, but sometimes a guy will like be caught for publicly urinating. And now he has to go everywhere he moves in. He has to go around and be like, I'm a sex offender.
I was just about to tell you the exact story. A friend of mine, he's an electrician, and they work at night because they have to dig up the roads or whatever. And what they'll do is they'll just like piss against the side of the truck or something because there's nowhere to go.
Sure.
Or he'll just piss out of the truck. They'll just stand inside and just piss out the truck. And a cop caught one of them, and then they gave him a ticket, and he was close to a school. but it was like 2 a.m.
Oh.
So then he was getting charged for pedophilia, and that meant then that he would have had to lose his job. But because they're part of a union, the union were just like
they fought it.
They muscled him out. Yeah,
That's
they fought
great.
it. The union came in. So big up the unions.
That's
defending
so fucked
pedos.
It's just so fucked
But then
up.
you could don't you also think though, if you're a pedo and then you have to go, hey, look, I'm a pedophile, but just so you know, I was drunk, I was pissing. It turns out it was a school. I didn't know.
No, I mean, I don't think people buy that.
No,
They see you come along with that petition or whatever, that thing where they have to get the signatures, and they're just like, this guy was jerking off in a playground. He was like,
yeah.
licking the windows of a school bus. Like, they think the worst.
yeah.
Nobody's like, this guy was just probably taking a piss because he was drunk after a bar.
I'm sure that they all probably say that though, right? They go, "No, it wasn't like what you think."
I don't think they're allowed to divulge.
I don't think they have enough time. The door's slamming in their face.
Yeah,
You go,
they're just
"No,
trying
no,
to get that name, like, and they're so embarrassed and everything like that. It's got to be fucking brutal.
You're like, listen, I swear, she said she was 18. Turns out she was
We
9.
should celebrate the pedophiles, though, that don't act on it more. Like, they should be out there and be like, listen.
I do get that, but it's at the same time, it's just like,
I wish we could do something for them.
You can do it.
No, I mean, I'm saying like,
I'll do it behind closed doors.
because it's just
like
like
vote for Trump.
It's such a, it's such like a thing where like this person, for whatever, like they can't help it. It's like being.
Absolutely.
Sadly, it is like being gay or like whatever else. It's just like
whatever
you're
other sickness you can think
yeah,
of.
Exactly. Whatever
Exactly.
other mental illnesses like
like being gay or
no. So it's like,
or
but it is just like what happens to
Supporting
your
the Miami
chemistry of your
Dolphins
body.
or
It's
whatever.
fucking brutal, you know. It's,
no, it is. It's awful. I can't even imagine.
yeah, it's got to be such a hell.
But then, but the reason these Mexican boys even came up with my timeline is because I follow all these like heavy conservative Twitter people, and all of them were just like, release the boys, release these kids.
Oh,
they
want them
hate
out of
pedos.
jail. Yeah.
They
They
hate-
hate them more than they hate brown people. They're like,
do.
let them in the country. These ones are good ones.
Yeah,
These
that's
are the good ones.
Yeah, they release these boys and send them back to Mexico immediately.
Oh yeah, they wanted them back. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Release them, but in their own country, please.
Yeah, release them very, very far away so that they can't find their way back here.
Catch and release.
Like you do with an old dog, just dump them in a forest somewhere.
Yeah, this is kind of like a win-win then for somebody who is of that ilk, because yeah, they killed a pedophile and now they'll get caught and released in their own country again. This is like,
God,
they're like, if only more of them killed pedophiles.
and track them. Put a little fucking tracking thing on their foot so that we can see their migration.
What do you think about dolls for them? Like, or like fucking
Dolls.
like these
you know what?
sex dolls.
I once read that like baby looking sex dolls are illegal in America.
Yeah, of course.
Well, you say of course. I would think it's like, well, it's just a thing.
Well, there's a reason. I mean, like,
So
there was
a lot
whole...
of pedophiles are doing arts and crafts, like and
Oh, sure,
and
they're
learning
making their own. That's so funny.
Making-
Really MacGyvering up a child.
or just buying a human sex doll and then cutting the like legs off it and then putting like shoes on. You never do that thing where you pretend to be tiny and you bend with your knees?
Oh, yeah, you're on your knees.
Yeah, that's
you're-
what he does with his sex dolls. They just fold the leg back up.
Well, people are like, I understand the argument of like, if they start fucking these dolls, they're gonna be so like at a fever pitch that they're gonna go, I gotta get a real one.
That's the science behind it.
Is it? Okay.
Because I originally was like, yeah, give him a doll. That's great. Let him fuck the doll. No harm, no foul. They're fucking something.
Yeah.
But then it turns out, yeah, the science behind it is that it doesn't
It
doesn't
It
quench the
invigorates
thirst.
them.
Yeah. Well, if we all know anything about porn, it's not like you go, oh, porn, good. That was boobs, and now
That's
I'm done.
it. Well, I mean, I don't know. Kind of. Sometimes I watch porn. I'm like, I don't need to talk to a girl tonight.
yeah, but what porn are you watching now compared to what you were watching 4 years ago?
Well,
5
that's
years
true.
ago?
That's
It's
true.
vicious, all right?
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
It's just a violent. It's like
I
not
don't
even,
watch. Actually, I don't like violence. I'm weird. I've gone the other way. I'm not into like.
You watch like the chick porn where it's like
Yes, actually,
slow
I am
and
like
romantic
slow
and
and yes.
he's a very pretty
Passionate.
cock. He has a very
Yes.
pretty cock. There's definitely a type of cock that gets into the girls' porn.
Yes, exactly. It's very sheen, and just like it is
slow.
Yes,
yeah,
glistening. It's very
the colors. Yeah,
It's not a too big, too small. It's right there.
Yeah. Feels like they're faking it less, doesn't it?
Exactly. The violent stuff, I go like, well, that's fine, but I don't. I'm not like aroused by it. I'm more of like, this is kind of fun to watch, but you know.
Yeah, I think I'm a storyline guy.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm a deep storyline.
I
guy.
do like. I like at least some effort put into the production end
Yeah.
of things. You know.
Yeah, I do also have this thing of it's like I guess the taboo stuff is good because I do maybe it's like this fantasy of being like, listen, I'm like, so I'm the guy, I'm the porn guy in it. Obviously, I'm the porn.
Oh, you
guy.
want like a POV?
Well, not even that, but it's like where it's like, you know, stepmom catches you fucking in the shower.
Oh, sure,
it's just
sure,
like,
sure.
oh my god, your dick is just so great. I gotta throw
I
away
have
all
to try
morals.
it.
I've been overcome by sluttiness because you're so fucking attractive. I'm like, yeah, give me that. That's
Hypnotized
me.
by your cock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's fun. Yeah, they really go all out, and I've started to like meet the people in the industry and things like that.
In the porn industry?
Yeah, and you start to get disenchanted by things, and it's so funny when you become friends with a porn star, you can't watch them do it anymore. It's just weird. They come in and it like takes you out of it.
I'm the opposite though.
I'm
not watching it going like, oh, this is hot. I'm
well,
like,
it's the opposite in a certain way. Like if it's a person that is a porn star who I knew from porn before I got to know,
yeah,
I can't now. They take me out of it because now it's like the mystique is gone, and I know them in real life. But if it's a girl that I like met at a library, and then she's like, "Guess what? I got an OnlyFans."
oh,
That I can watch,
Yeah.
a lot. And that's my like favorite type of porn now. Is the like bartender has an OnlyFans, and then she goes home and like just fucking dildos or pussy all night.
no,
like,
that's why you, yeah.
that's my favorite. Those OnlyFans where it's just like, hey, I know that girl from like
Her
back
day
when
job.
I was. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, that does not. I refuse to believe if you meet a girl at the bar and she's like, oh, by the way, I also have an OnlyFans.
You haven't done that?
No, because they usually just OnlyFans is so lucrative that they just don't.
They're not doing that. Well, they got to get the clientele. So the bar it becomes like, and bartending jobs aren't that, shitty in terms of income. So they're not
Yeah.
going to throw that away. They do it a couple nights a week, and they also get some clientele onto the OnlyFans.
Well,
That's the way they rope them in.
Well, I'd be like, Aaliyah Janine.
I know who
she's
that
a
is,
comedian. I never knew her from porn until, but then I met her and I was like, I should watch this girl's porn.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like it's a dare.
Oh sure.
How
It's
am
like
I
a dare,
gonna
yeah.
not watch it? Like how am I gonna not?
Well, now
watch
you
it?
go, oh, you do porn? Okay, cool. And then you go home and you're like, oh, I got to see what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
I've
here.
done a lot of podcasts with porn stars and stuff. Then afterwards, I'm like, oh, let me see what the fuck.
Sure, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's like
What's
when
going on
you
over
start
here?
going to like get coffee with them and stuff. Then it's like they
Oh.
enter the porn, and you're like, oh god, you're in this.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
She gets you going and you're jerking off, and then you see her and you're like,
You're
oh,
like,
God.
Christ! Now I'm like self conscious. It's like she can see me.
Absolutely. Let's check in with our favorite, the truckers up in Canada, right? So I don't know if you know this, but I guess Canada has some of the strictest COVID restrictions in the world.
They're back in lockdown.
It's been going on forever now. The truck drivers, or at least a couple of, I wouldn't say their truck drivers, because it's not like the Truck Drivers Union or the Truck Drivers Association of Canada, which I think is the right name. I think I nailed that name.
Truck Drivers Association of Canada.
I always get the names wrong, so I feel like that was impressive. Let me give myself
trust me,
I just gave myself a machine gun sound drop. But we don't have headphones.
I
so
I fuck up names every podcast. I'm
Absolutely.
like the worst. Yeah.
yeah. So they've been, I guess they've been traveling across Canada. Is that what they all met out west in
A convoy, a giant
Yeah.
convoy. That's
And-
what they call it.
and they're not delivering it. Is that the point?
No, just going really slow to Ottawa. I think the capital.
Really slow. Is that
Yeah.
so
Just
so
disrupting supply chain.
good for them. I'm a truck driver too, so I get it. My truck driver is a little bit different. I just drive around the city, just
Oh, yeah?
delivering couches and shit.
Oh, okay.
But I get it. I'm I'm
Yeah.
a blue collar guy.
So they're like, oh, fuck these. Like, what's the point? Why do they want the supply chain more ruined? Because of the lockdowns?
It's a protest to say
for the
like
COVID? Okay.
I don't want to wear masks anymore.
I see.
Masks are uncomfortable.
Hey, as a guy with glasses,
Yeah.
and I'm walking around here now. I live in LA, so it's like the weather's not as cold, obviously. But man, I can't walk into a place here without my glasses getting fogged up without a mask. Now with a mask, I'm useless. I walk into a place and I just all of a sudden become an invalid. I'm like fucking stumbling into shit, and like I have to stand off to the side and like wait till my glasses become unfogged. Otherwise, I can't operate. I ran into a fucking door the other day. I mean,
I love the idea of you just walking around.
The mask actually
knocking
might.
shit over.
The mask is actually.
I'm from LA.
It's injuring more. It's injuring me more wearing a mask than it is for me to like just get COVID.
Yeah, but you might have saved a fat guy his life.
Possibly. Oh, I don't care. We shouldn't be saving fat people.
Yes. I'm gonna hit you with a crowd.
Sorry, fatties.
There has to be something like stop being so fat.
Yeah, like how much do you need? We're giving you fucking extra belts on a fucking plane.
I gotta tell you, if you want to be unhealthy.
Sure.
Just don't be gross.
Every fat guy I know is like, yeah, I'm fat, I suck, I'm gross, and they're fine with it. But like, they're not like, don't breathe near me because you're gonna kill me.
The problem is the movement, the anti-fat movement, right, is always under the guise of like, no, it's about your health. Why are you promoting unhealthy lifestyles? It's like, I don't care if Lizzo's unhealthy. Fucking do crack. I don't care.
Well, what's funny is
just don't be gross.
Yeah, now it's like
mine is purely aesthetic and physical.
Yeah, it's just
you're a
sloppy mess. Yeah,
you're a wobble goblin, and I don't want to see you dancing on TV. All right.
It's just now it's become like there is no more like now it's called fat shaming. If you're like, hey, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah, don't be a sack of shit.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you're fat shaming now. I'm healthy, even though I look like this. And there are healthy, large people, but you know.
It's like The Rock when his BMI is fucking says he's obese, but he's actually just fucking jacked.
Exactly. Or like an offensive lineman who's like, you go, that guy looks fat as fuck, but you're like, oh, he can like push a truck for 5 miles.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So there are differences.
Or the UFC heavyweight guys, you know, like Roy Nelson.
Yes.
And then what was that big New Zealand? Do you watch the UFC at all?
No.
The big New Zealand guy. He was a big Mark something. He was a beast.
It's the one sport I haven't.
But these are
like,
fat, 360-pound guys. But they're fucking animals.
Right. It's I wouldn't even call that fat. I don't even know what I would. But like these, you know, there's you ever see 1,000-Pound Sisters or something like that show? Horrific. I've had multiple people go, you got to see this 1,000-Pound Sister show. I go, do I need to see it?
Is it two sisters at 500 each, or is one of them?
I think
600,
they're both. I don't know the break. I did ask that question too. I go, "What's the breakdown on the weights here? Are they both
the 400-pound keeps calling her sister a fat bitch.
What if one gains 10? Yeah, exactly. Well, you're 640 now, you fucking bitch.
No,
but yeah, they're both like in a house and they have to get like rolled around and their sheets changed and shit. It's just like,
is that from the parents? Do you reckon?
I don't even know, dude. I didn't watch the show, but I just was wondering if you had caught it because
no. I can't. I just get angry.
I can't watch that shit either because it's like, what kind of?
It's also it's a sickness.
If it was me, I'd be like, kill me. You know what I mean? I'd be like, put a bullet in my fucking head.
They just go more butter.
Well, it's
like hard.
They're trying to get killed. It seems like they're trying to die. You know what I mean?
Listen, you know, I'm in a situation where I count calories so I don't lose any more weight because I've lost so much weight lately that I'm like, I need to because I'm working all the time. I'm busy or whatever, so I can't even imagine a world where it's like tracking doing the opposite. I can't even imagine a world of doing that.
This is what I say to anybody who's like fat. I go, you just got the bad luck of the draw or something. But also like I'm a guy who's never worked out. I eat maybe because I just don't eat very often. But
physical specimen, this guy.
I am fucking not a phys. I'm so like I bet me and a fat guy probably have the same organs. You know, like if you cut us open. It's like the same inside. You'd be like, which one's the 300 pounds liver? I'd be like, I don't know. But I don't do anything physical and I still am not like super obese. So it's like, what's going on with you fucking people?
I think they just don't move.
Well, it's because they eat like people with food.
Can't be. It's not just the food. It's just a natural move. They don't move.
Well, that's either do I.
They can't leave. But you have to move. Even standing on stage, 20
I guess that's
20
true.
minute a night is more than they'll do for a week.
Well, if that was the case, you know, Bobby Kelly would be.
Bobby doesn't do enough shows. Bobby's sitting in traffic most of the time, right?
But it's just so bizarre to be that I can be like this. But it's a thing for me. It's about food because I'll say this right here. I hate fucking food. I fucking hate the idea that we have to eat so often. I find it to be a chore. It's arduous.
Dude, you need to get yourself on one of that like plumpy nut regimens.
I want like
you ever see in a hospice?
Soylent
that
kind of shit.
Do you ever see what they give to like old people in a hospice when they're dying? They'll just like give them a carton of like vitamins, and
That's what I want.
They just have 2 of them a day, and that hits all of their calorie intakes, and then that's it. So that's what you
Dude,
need.
I would love that.
Just a pill.
I hate eating. I like going to a restaurant and eating. You know, like if it's an occasion. But like this whole idea of like you wake up and you're like, gotta have breakfast. Dude, I don't have to have breakfast. And these people who are
I think
like
you're depressed. Are you depressed?
I am, yeah, for sure. I got but for like 35
Dude,
years.
Opening my eyes, smiling. I hate all of it. Food.
But it's just so weird, like these people that are like walking around with bags of chips and shit like that. I'm like, you just gotta constantly be eating.
It's bad. It's bad food too. It's not like, I understand if you're a big fat cunt and it's because you go to restaurants and you're drinking Bordeaux and eating beef Wellington and you've got gout, like nice rich people food. Like
I like that. That's
good.
a
Nice fatty.
Yeah, if you're like King Baratheon in Game of Thrones, if you're like him, where you're just like fat
turkey
because
legs,
yeah, exactly,
and shit like that. Yeah,
then I salute you as a person,
like
You've
a
done
lord.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, big fat lord with gout.
But if you're just eating birthday cake from fucking,
if you're just Wendy's and then you got that like lump on the inside of your leg that's like just
Oh,
like
God,
an extra.
yeah.
It's like, are you growing an extra leg?
yeah,
you know
you're
that type of
sweating
fat?
grease all the time.
It's insane.
It is gross, and I don't understand it.
My poor audience today too, because they are all on board for this episode because it's like, yeah, fuck pedos, and then
Now I'm like,
and then we're like, fuck
all of them.
We're like, fuck these fat slobs from the Midwest, and they're like, boo,
Your dumb food.
I turn off this.
No, they're not all in the.
But they're too
Midwest.
lazy to reach their phone to turn off the episode.
You know what's funny is how they like Europeans think like they're like, oh, America is all fat and everything. I've been to England. They don't have
English fatties too.
Yeah, they've got plenty of fat people.
That's been in the more recent years though. To be honest, if you
As
look at
our culture spreading.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
the rest of the world is 10 years behind America.
This is our new imperialism: is that we are going
Yeah.
out there and just making everyone fat,
Exactly.
just killing them that way.
Just spreading the trends across the world. Yeah, it's interesting. You said so. If you could take a pill and then that's like food done for the week, I would do that with. You know what I'd like to do that with is like with shitting. I would like if
Me
I
too.
could just have one gigantic large shit.
Yeah, they go hand in hand for me. I feel like it's like if you're going to eat more, you're going to shit more, you know? And these
Yeah.
people that walk around going like, God, I'm just like, I got diarrhea all the time. It's like, hey, maybe just like eat a fucking salad, you know, and get some roughage in there and solidify it a little bit. Just once, you know?
Yeah.
You're eating chicken nuggets every day.
All right. I hope you guys listening and watching.
I know I have weird. I mean, I've had psychologists be like, "Yeah, your opinions on food are borderline eating disorder level." So I know that I'm in the rare here.
Yeah, you do have like a little sort of a hamster that's come to life vibe. About
Yes,
you
hell
know?
yeah.
in a Disney movie. Yeah. All right. So the truckers have been traveling from Ontario to. Did we ever figure out the Canada capital?
The capital of Canada is Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Yeah.
You know that because you're from upstate New York,
Yes.
and it's like
I basically
you're
was
practically
living
Canadian.
in Canada for.
You're like a cool Canadian. Is that what you think?
I feel like I'm an American who gets like some of their culture, and we like accept the good parts. But in Buffalo, we love their music, and I don't.
What's
I think
that?
it's
Celine Dion.
no like like bands like Sloan, Our Lady Peace. These like border bands that like if they come to Buffalo. It's Tragically Hip was another one. The guy died. Gord Downey died, but they were huge. They'd come to Buffalo. They do the arena.
Yeah. Okay.
But then they go 3 hours down the highway to Cleveland, and they're barely selling a bar show.
Yeah, I know
It's
what
so
you mean. I know
weird,
what
you know?
mean. You know what's funny in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, which is technically Ireland, depending on your political beliefs. Anyway, but there's they're the most incestuous support group of all time. So there's comedians in Belfast that will play a stadium. Like they'll literally play 7,000 or 8,000 people, and the population of the entire country it isn't a whole lot. There's like 1 million people in that whole country, up that region of Ireland. But they'll go play a stadium, like a full stadium, 8,000 people screaming, and they get the tickets, and every year, and then they'll go 2 hours down the road, and there's like 4 people at a bar show watching them. It's the wildest shit I've ever
crazy.
came across in my life.
And it's because of like the north versus south sort of thing.
Well, it's not even north or south. It's just very communal up there, I guess. They really stick to their
see.
people, you know?
Has something happened with, because last time I was there, they were talking about how, I think it was Brexit maybe or something. They were like, if Brexit happens, then it's going to create the same thing that was going on in like the 90s or whatever.
There was because we have a peace part of the peace treaty agreement where the IRA gave up their guns back in the 80s. I believe it was the 80s, maybe it was the 90s, but was that there would be no border on the island.
Right.
So it's like free travel in between. It's like crossing a state line.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas everywhere else in Europe is a very strict border.
And so if they went through with Brexit, they'd have to put the border back?
No, I think they there was a talk that it could be like that. And then if the border came back, then it would have been a big whole thing. I think they never did it.
Yeah,
It'd be
that never
stupid
happened.
to do it.
Yeah, it would be silly.
It just slows everything down because there's a lot of people who live on the border too that just like travel all the time.
Then we'd have to get U2 back out to make another album.
That would save it.
Yeah, I feel like that's what saved it last time. Wasn't it Bono that saved the whole?
Bono had nothing to do with anything ever. Bono's never had a positive.
That's my.
Despite all of his branding, he's never had a positive impact in anything.
That's what I thought. I learned that in history class. Like, and then Bono wrote Joshua Tree, and then the wall came down. That's
yeah. He attaches himself to like ending famine and shit. He never did anything. He's always like, oh yeah, we got to do. He doesn't pay tax either. He's Irish, but he lives in Switzerland, so he doesn't have to pay any tax. So 6 months of the year, him and all his fucking retard.
Some dildo on NFL Network was trying to tell me U2 was the best all-time halftime show for the Super Bowl because it was like right after 9/11. I'm like, U2 was after 9/11. We should have had fucking Toby Keith or some shit. Like, we got a fucking Irish guy doing after 9/11. I mean, that's fucking.
It was traumatic watching it at 2:00 in the afternoon. You guys have no idea.
Was that what time it was there?
It was roughly that.
You know what's so funny because
so actually a lot of 9/11 was a fine day for us. You guys woke up to fucking horror. You were in Amsterdam, right?
Yeah.
Getting high as hell.
Yeah.
What's so funny is like now I live in LA and you talk to people who are like, where were you on 9/11? They're like, I was sleeping.
Yeah.
Because it was like fucking 5 a.m. over there.
Yeah.
And then they had like school canceled. So they were like, oh, I was in school when it was happening. So
Up
like
in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Were you all sent home or was it? No.
They go, if you want to go home, you can go home. I mean, pretty much classes were canceled. They're like, if you can't go home.
Was there worry that they were going to come for Buffalo?
I mean, there were people talking. I remember I was a sophomore in high school and I still had the logic of going like, I think we're pretty low on the list. I think there's going to be a few targets before they come out this way.
What have they even got up there?
Well, here's what they kept saying was going to happen.
Stadium? I don't even know what else you got
Niagara
up there.
Falls, the hydro power powers the entire eastern seaboard.
Oh, interesting.
Ironically, it doesn't power any of Buffalo. It's just the eastern, and New York City included. So they were saying they were going to fly a plane into like the hydro plant. Or whatever.
Well, I was talking to an FBI agent one time, right? At least he told me he was an FBI agent. I don't know. I was working at a bar.
Oh, really?
Well, but they're all stationed up on the Hudson, up in Hudson Valley.
Yeah,
that's where there's a big, because the theory is like a terrorist attack. If they poison that, it will get through to all of New York water. Thing. So there's constantly FBI agents thinking of a terrorist attack up there. It's like,
they really. I feel like our government or like the press even, because they were floating all kinds of, they were like posting up potential targets and stuff like that. They're like, if you live over this, be wary. Like, it was such fear-mongering horseshit, but like, I feel like they were like, the terrorists didn't even think of that. They were like, oh, we could have did that instead of like,
listen,
did we have to take out both towers? I mean, what did that really do? The financial whatever, who gives a shit about that? Yeah. I even asked at the time, I go, because I'm stupid. I don't know how the finances of the world work. I'm like, did that really do anything? You know, like the stock market got all fucked up and weird for a second. But I was like, how does that? I couldn't figure out the A to B. I'm like, oh, because they knocked out a tourist attraction. Like I thought the Twin Towers was just like a place you go and you visit here.
Yeah,
but it is so weird driving around in that area and going like, this whole place was probably covered in like rubble. I mean, when those things came down.
You know what I always thought would be like a funny sketch, right? Right, would be, let's say it's like me, right? And I want to get my head shaved. And it's like, it's the morning 9/11 and I'm down the financial district and I walk into a barber's and I go, shave my fucking head, please, baby. And he goes, you sure? I'm like, everything, let's go. And then he goes, and then as soon as he does that, like with half my hair, the plane crashes in. And so we all go, we got to get the fuck out of here.
That's funny.
So then you finally make your way home back to your family out in Staten Island or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, you're okay. I was like, I'm safe. And then I was like, what's with your fucking head? But there's no barbers open. So then for the next 5 days, you just have like half a shaved hair.
Yeah, but you could say I came from ground zero and they'd be like, oh my God, half your head's burned off. But they're like, you know.
Every time someone sees you though, they're like, why'd you have half a head? Like, they're like, oh my God, what the fuck? And they're like, I was in the middle of a haircut.
I don't know. the jet fuel burned off my hair. But like, I always thought it would be interesting because like the people that died in that mostly were just people that were like going to work at an office building. And how many people jerk off at work? Do you know what I mean? Like if there was a survey, what do you say? 1 in 9?
If they're not like me, it's 100%.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I have done it. I know a couple other people that have done it. So like, if you were to say,
can I just say, Johnny, don't you ever jerk off in this room? This is a palace. This is the king. This is the king's palace.
Take it to the bathroom.
I'm not having one of the muggles fucking jerk off. All right.
Yeah, no problem.
Take it to the bathroom. Take it
to the bathroom.
Get to the bathroom.
But even that counts. That counts as jerking off at work. Like even if like say a guy at the trade centers.
Any room in this building is fine. Except for
this one. Yeah. That's like him coming into your office.
That's why they call him the glove. Because he's always jerking off.
But I mean, like, what are the odds? One, maybe 2 people were jerking off during 9/11 when they're in the bathroom, like cranking one out when the plane hit. Or there's a guy doing it and he hears the first plane hit. He's like, I'm good. It was on the other one, and he stays in the second tower and still finishes off.
If he did still finish off,
yeah.
Or a guy who was like just waiting to go. He's like, I'm not a jerk off now in about 10 minutes once I get this email sent, and then there's like the first plane crashes, and you go, shit. I'm still on a go. I'm still.
If you were in one of the floors higher than the plane and you weren't getting down, and it was like you and like a group of people, I would be like, well, you guys want to just have an orgy?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I would like, listen, guys, we're having an orgy. And
I would hope that
this is what's happening.
We get instantly drunk. We have an orgy. Imagine that's what I would like. Hope I'd pull up. I'd try to find booze and everything.
I've got some absinthe.
Like we have only a little while till this building is going down. We might as well be going down while we're going down on each other. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
That sounds like it would be fun. I would at least pitch it. You know, to like the girl from The Office that I always had a crush on. I'm like, I always liked you.
Yeah.
I hope you make out one more time before the
maybe. I feel like I'd be crying. I feel like you're asking people to lick their clits, and I'm there crying. Yeah. I'm crying.
Well, this is the way I grieve. I'm sorry.
You're tap dancing. He's drinking fucking Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, they're like jumping out the window, and I'm like, hey, before you go, you give my dick a suck.
You come out of your boss, coming out of your boss's office with a bottle of champagne. He's like, this has been on his desk. Come on.
Yeah, I'm NASCARing everybody.
What about the person who was late for work that day? Oh. They woke up, they're hungover, and they knew it was their.
That's the dream.
It was their final straw. They literally last week the boss said, "If you're late one more time, you're fucking out of here, McNulty."
God.
And then he wakes up and he's running to the train. He's on his way in, finds out the news.
He's the only guy. The building's coming down. He's like walking away, skipping. He's like,
he's like, "Oh my god, it's horrible." No, he's like, he has to be like, "It's horrible," but at the same time, he's like, "I don't think I lost my job." Like he went from losing his job to suddenly like. All right.
When I used to have a job,
Jimmy did it again.
When I used to have a job, if I was ever late, I would hope that I would be like, God, maybe a fucking plane will crash in the building.
I swear, I've wished it so many times. I've been late for so many jobs over the years. I'm like, please crash. I'm hoping the plane will fall off the fucking thing. I'm hoping there's a fire breaks out.
Yeah.
I'm like, please terrorist attack. I'm not saying I want a terrorist attack, but if there is one. Now would be a sweet ass time.
Yeah.
Pretty please.
Or if you're running late and you're on like the train, you're like, I need somebody to really like.
Yeah.
So I can be like, my boss, look what I'm dealing with here. You film it.
Yeah, I guess that's when. Remember in Philly, that girl got raped on the train and no one said anything. It was probably just a bunch of people going, if I say something, I'll be late. And
oh my god, so that story's come up a bunch
is a real
in my life, and in terms of like people bringing it. Like I ride the subway in LA.
Mm-hmm.
I've ridden the subway here. Every time I get on the subway, I have headphones on, and I stand in a place where I'm minding my own business. So it doesn't seem so out of the realm to me that I wouldn't notice what's going on down the car.
Yeah.
Because I'm also like looking at my shoes or like my phone, and I have headphones on, and I'm trying to keep to myself so that I don't attract the ire of some loon.
Yeah, for sure. I get it.
So I can understand how that could occur. Like people are like, it's a crowded train. How does somebody get raped for 45 minutes and then nobody noticed? It's like, well, it's actually seemingly kind of easy.
I miss my stop all the time. I'm like deep in Twitter or whatever. I'm looking up stuff and I look around and I go, fuck shit,
But even that, it's just like, and then if some psychopath gets on the train where they're like yelling up a storm or something. I was just on the train here in New York and a guy gets on and he was like, I got a 6-inch blade. just like the one that was put in my back. Don't get it fucking twisted. He's like yelling at all of us, just trying to get attention, and everyone's just like looking down even more.
I've been threatened with knives. Well, at least someone would go, you better back up. He's like, you better back the fuck up and not blade you or something.
Yeah. But I carry one in LA.
Good, nice.
Nobody's really.
What type of one? Like a cool, like.
I don't have a butterfly knives are illegal. I can't seem to find one to buy. I have a practice one that I like because I'm blind, so I like try to keep my eyes closed and fuck around with it. But nice. I haven't been able to find a real one. But I have the just the standard like hunting knife.
Just your standard stab guy knife.
Yeah, but I was drunk.
What about a Stanley blade? Like I carry them sometimes.
Like a
worker's fucking.
Oh, a box cutter.
A box cutter, yeah.
That's good. That's even crazy. This one is
that's legal though. Is it legal to have a box cutter? It better be. I'm walking around with a big bag of tools.
I didn't know it was illegal to have any knife. I didn't know that. Is it?
In New York, I think it's illegal. They said.
Okay.
I think it's illegal to have knives in New York.
This guy though, he was like,
possibly it's illegal.
I was super wasted on the subway, and this guy like started bothering me, and I pulled my knife on him, and he laughed at me. He's like, "Did you just pull a fucking knife on me?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "Stay back, man." He goes, and he's just like, "I'm not gonna fucking rob you." I'm like, "I don't know, dude." And then we just like, we seriously ended it with like a hug. We ended the exchange with like a hug. He's like, "I just needed a couple bucks, man." And he's like, "Sorry if I was aggressive."
Wow, you back off, dude. Then he's laughing.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
But that's like LA. Homeless people are so much less aggressive. Yeah. Even though there are a lot of them.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many of them. They can't all be fucking.
No, they're like, I'm sleeping under the sun. Who gives a shit?
I was. Here's a subway story. I was on the train one time, right? And it's like late at night, and we're going along, and some guy is with his girl, and there's like a bit of a fight breaks out or something. It's down one end. And it's not much of a fight, but it's like they're screaming at each other or whatever. And she tries to get off the train or something, and he like grabs her and throws her back on the chair. You know, it's like one of these awkward. And then she thinks she's helping, so she fucking grabs the emergency thing and pulls that down. So then we pull into the next station, but the car just stops, and he's like holding her, and she's screaming, "He has a gun! He has a gun!" And then so someone's ringing the cops going, "This guy's got a gun."
Oh my God.
Because I actually think he did have a gun. I think it was dropped on the ground or something. And he picked it back up. It was something fucking nut. It was enough that I was just like, fuck my life. So it's like we pull into the station, and then the next thing is, so we've got a bit of an emergency, so everyone please stay seated. But the doors don't open.
Yeah,
so now we're just trapped in the fucking thing. The emergency brake, you'd imagine the doors open so everyone can fucking flee. Yeah. They're like, no, we could not in New York. We keep it fucking contaminated.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, there was
as soon as it opened though, then the guy just ran off or whatever, or she ran off. I can't even remember. All I do know is like everyone collectively went, I'm not getting involved. Yeah. Straight away. It was one of those real, this is your moment to be a tough guy.
A hero.
And the hero. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm listening to Jordan Peterson. Well, if you ever come across trouble, it's time for you to act like a man. And I'm like, no, Jordan. I'm a man because I made my bed today, Jordan. Shut up.
It's funny, like, when there was, have you ever been on the subway when just like the power went out or whatever and it just gets stuck mid-tube or whatever?
Yeah.
In LA it happened, and I was like, I can see the next stop. So I like pried the doors open, and me and like 6 other people just got out and walked it.
Nice.
And they didn't care. They were like, the cop tried to yell at us. There was like a cop on the train who was like, "Hey." And then we're like, "What?" And he was like, "Just don't touch that." And it was like the third rail. I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're good." We went up onto the catwalk. Yeah, exactly. We went up onto this catwalk though, and then we were already home free. It was so easy. LA, the subway though, you could like walk it in probably like a few hours.
I got trapped on the subway once for like an hour, and I think it was either in a tunnel or somewhere.
I can't do that.
And it was packed. I mean, it was wedged. It was
I would
rush
look
hour,
for an escape.
Summer. We were fucking packed.
No,
Everyone started sitting on the floor because it was like we were standing for too long.
Yeah.
People are starving. Is that, anyone got a Snickers? I was like, I wish that's the day you need those kids who are selling like the wrenches.
Sure.
They would just be like, as soon as that happens, they're like, because they're walking around going $2.
No part of you wanted to get the fuck out. Like you didn't want to pry the door open and just walk.
We were in a tunnel somewhere in New York. You know?
Yeah, but I would have just went like, well, there's going to be a stop somewhere. Let's just start hoofing it.
I guess.
And get above ground, because I wouldn't be able to handle that. I got trapped in an elevator in a skyscraper.
Jesus.
And like for my old job back in LA. And it was so weird because like the building across the street is where they had in Speed the elevator scene. Do you ever see the movie Speed?
Yes.
So
I don't remember
in
the
the beginning
elevators.
of it, the very beginning, it opens with this elevator scene. Dennis Hopper like rigs an elevator to like explode so it just hits the ground. And that was the building across the street. So we're in this other skyscraper and I'm just running Speed through my head. And the elevator like looks like Speed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we're cramped just like that, like all in this thing. And it's getting hot. We were in there for like an hour. And I kept nominating myself. I'm like, just get me on top here. I'll see like if we're between floors or if we're like near let me just get on the roof of the elevator. And everyone's like, no. I'm like, and I keep going like, well, I'll go on the I kept saying weird shit. I kept going like, someone should go up on the roof of the elevator, and I think I can do it. And everyone's like, no, Josh.
Because you know what happened? It would move, and then next thing you know, you're
I have a fantasy about just being up in those fucking
Yeah.
climbing the wires and shit.
For sure.
Like I'm in fucking Mission Impossible.
Yeah, you don't think it's gonna go flying up and then there's like spikes to
Oh
stop
yeah.
For some reason they make it the most dangerous
Like
area.
Emilio Estevez in Mission Impossible. He's like,
That's what,
All right, so let's go back to these fucking truckers. The truckers, they're driving over. Now, Justin, how'd you say his name? Justin
Trudeau. Mr. Blackface.
Mr. Blackface. Please, Mr. Blackface was my father. They're expected to arrive at, where did you say the capital was again?
Ottawa.
They're expected to arrive at Ottawa sometime around today, nearly, is it? And he came out and was like, I came in contact with someone with COVID. I tested negative, but as per the rules, I'm going to be isolating for the next 5 days. And I was like, what a fucking coincidence. This
if
fucking
you want to
worm.
just disappear for 5, I've done
This fucking worm was just like, no, I support the truckers. See ya.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
If I had a real job, I would be using the COVID 5 days thing. I would be abusing that.
Are you allowed if just in contact though?
I don't know.
Just like listen, a friend of mine coughed and he has
I feel like
it came back negative, but I got it.
I feel like everyone's trying to be so careful that like you could just be like, I came near COVID and I my first test was negative, but I don't know, I'm feeling a little off.
Yeah, you'd be just in Florida for weeks, just like chilling out, just like
100%.
Absolutely, for sure.
Was it somebody I was talking to, a Canadian? Oh, it was Ryan. I was talking with Ryan Long, and he was like, "Do you know Trudeau has like so many instances of blackface that they actually asked him in the press, like, how many times have you done blackface?" And he wouldn't give them a number because he goes, any number I give you, you're going to find one extra probably. He's like, I don't want to incriminate myself by limiting it to like a certain number.
Well, it's like, how big is a hole? How long is a piece of rope?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the answer here?
So he's like, I'd rather not answer because there will be one more than what I.
And he goes, well, how many have you done?
Yeah. So
what's the answer? What's an appropriate amount of blackface?
Well, if he gets caught with like 2, and then people kept coming out there like, well, then there's this one, and then there's this one, and they're like, how many of these pictures are out there?
I've never done blackface, right? And
I never had the desire to do that either.
And it was never like a moral thing.
Me neither.
It was just the idea of covering my whole body and face.
I don't want to do whiteface either. Like a
I don't want to put on any
whatever.
makeup.
Yeah, I'm not putting any of that cake on.
I'm not a chick.
Yeah.
Blackface is for gays. Yeah, but I do have friends who've blackfaced up over the years, but they never really did it. It was never...
I have friends that ignorantly did it because they didn't know. Like, I had my one buddy, he was T.O. for Halloween.
Exactly. I had a friend who just dressed up as Jay-Z one year for no real reason. But that was it. It wasn't like he was... especially in Ireland, because we don't have a history of
right
racism, because we never had any black people. So it was like, that's the only reason. It's not like we have some fucking ethical hippy dippy fucking island. It's just we never had people to be racist against.
I wonder if like,
because Irish people will try to like spin it like it's like, we don't have a history of slaves. It's like, what? That was just a coincidence. That wasn't because we didn't want them.
Yeah, that's like the NBA being like, stop Asian hate. We love you, China.
Yeah.
Who's really bad with Asian hate. They hate a lot of Asians over there. But it's so fucking interesting to me that I wonder if blackface would have been considered the way that it's considered now had there never been like an Al Jolson or like people that were like specifically doing it because it was...
I don't even know who that is.
Al Jolson is like this old-timey like...
minstrel bullshit.
Minstrel stuff. Yeah, he'd wear his album covers are blackface. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
And he did the old like Sambo stuff or whatever the hell that is. And so That was to make them look like they'd be like, oh, mammy, like they do all that horse shit.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that never was the case, and if it just time came along as it did, and people were just doing it like, I want to be Jay-Z for Halloween. If that would have been acceptable.
Yeah, it should be acceptable. If it wasn't for the history,
right,
it would be acceptable.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, you can't not have.
No,
the
of course,
history,
yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if that piece of the history was.
But
missing.
even Mickey Mouse was based on fucking minstrels, like with the white gloves. And
well,
all that
we all
stuff.
know how Walt felt about certain groups
for sure.
But it's strange. Yeah, it's like, why can women tan to the point of looking like a different race? And it's like, oh, they look good.
Yeah.
Like, if a woman is super brown,
but
you're like,
look, it's just the history, all right?
Yeah.
You can't get away from it, like, because if you go to certain like Asian countries, like in Thailand, it's all like white. It's like it's not tinted.
They're trying to,
it's whited moisturizer.
They want you to look whiter.
Well, no matter what it is, you want to try to look a little bit like the other one, right? That's like the goal is like usually like a mix.
Sure.
So if you're like really, I'm guessing in like a lot of African countries, they're trying to make them whiter looking. In this country, certainly with people like Beyonce, who's like she's a very mixed.
Yes.
She's like a nice. She's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and everyone can kind of be like, "Wow, what a hottie."
Yeah, that's interesting.
So white people are trying to get darker, and I think black people are trying to get whiter.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to be this nice little mix.
Nice little gray. That's what we need.
Yeah, just an icky color that we'll all turn into.
Yeah, a sickly gray.
So he fled. He came out and said, so he's fled the scene, right? Because he's going to get beat up. Do we like him? Do we hate him? What is he doing? Is he a rat? What's your opinions on this guy?
Trudeau is less like there was a time when like he first came into power where everyone was like, oh my God, look at how hot the Canadian guy is.
Big French nose on him.
But I mean, like, Canada has always been such a nothing country, and I apologize to the Canadians out there.
I agree.
It really is. Just, and I grew up going to it as a guy. Now I'm not allowed in the country any longer, so I haven't been there for...
Pedophile thing?
12 years. No, alcohol-related arrest. If you have one in this country, you're not allowed to go to theirs.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck off, Canada, will you?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I was fucking, drinking your beer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was drinking Molson.
You were fucking doing donuts in a car park somewhere.
Yeah.
Ran over a little girl, pretended you had narcolepsy or whatever.
No, it's fucking stupid that they won't let me in. But at the same time, I mean, it's just like, what do you want? What are you doing up there, Canada? They're all locked down right now. I don't like how they handled the pandemic. I wouldn't think that's fun.
No.
So it doesn't make me want to go.
He's like, I'm very liberal, but he seems to be he's too liberal.
Exactly.
It's too much. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, because it's like this whole thing now where it's like a contest. It's to be like the wokest.
It's also funny that he like everyone calls him the blackface guy. So every time he does that, and everyone's like, "You're the blackface guy." But But it's also the people who are just like, "Listen, blackface ain't that bad."
Right? They're also like,
it's the same people that go, "Blackface ain't that bad."
That is the irony.
Hey, blackface.
That is ironic. Where they're like, I can't. You know what I liked about him though? He did all those blackface stuff. Yeah. But then they try to call him out on the carpet.
Yeah,
for
who's
it.
your makeup guy? That was some excellent shading. So you did. So he's fled. He's a pussy. All politicians are pussies. Fuck him. Shout out to the truckers. I don't like that everyone's calling them racist. I guess because apparently
the truckers are racist.
Apparently, there's evidence that some of them are part of some sort of white supremacy group, but not all.
There's
no
no white supremacy in Canada. In Canada, they don't have the same history that we have.
There was probably one guy who drew a swastika in a notebook in high school because he thought it was funny. And
I'm sure.
He's
you're right.
Branded as a fucking clan member.
Also, are there black people in Canada? I mean, I'm sure there are.
Not with the fucking laws that you just mentioned. No way. Try get in there.
I mean, in Toronto, sure, but like, if you're coming from Saskatchewan, how many fucking black people are in Saskatchewan? You know,
that's it. If you just Google how many, it will fill out.
Yeah, it'll
black
be like
people
12.
It's one of the most.
Here are their names.
One of the most Googled questions is how many black people are there in Saskatchewan. Is there an answer? How many black people? Don't be Googling how many black people are in Anton. All right.
See, people in African origins in 2016, 1.4%.
They moved there?
Saskatchewan.
1%. 1%.
1.4.
1.4.
It's quite a lower percentage than we have here, right?
In this city?
Yeah, and we boated them all over any city in America.
Yeah. All right, so that's our hot take on politics. I guess.
I don't understand the whole like they're whites. Like Canada does not have the same race issues that we have here. Not by a mile.
No.
They maybe have like ignorance or whatever, but they don't
even
have slavery.
It's
they
illegal
have,
to say Indian, isn't it?
Probably.
You can't say native.
It's got to be like Inuit or
people.
something.
I think
First Peoples.
Is Inuit gone
First
too?
Peoples.
Inuit's gone. Isn't
Inuit's. Yeah, it's Eskimo
I
now.
think that's still okay.
Eskimo's illegal.
not okay.
That's the
Oh,
one, is
okay.
it? It's illegal to say Eskimo.
right. I mean, I don't know if it's illegal.
You
In
don't?
Canada, they make weird shit like that illegal, though. They're like, oh, it's against the law.
There you go. That's why our Lord and Savior Jordan Peterson was coming out and being like, I will not be. I agree with you that I don't have to say it, but if the origin of the word Eskimo means that they kiss with their nose. Whatever stuff. Did you watch Del Jordy on Rogan recently?
Who?
Jordy Peterson.
Oh, no, I did not watch. That guy's like, make your bed and all this stuff. I'm just like, I don't know. I can't.
Make sure you.
I literally don't know. I hear
brush
people.
their molars. Molars are one of the highest.
I hear like Tim
cavities.
Dillon talking about how smart he is and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know, man.
I think he's super smart.
I'm sure he is. I literally don't know anything about him other than he's like the guy that's said to make your bed every day.
Yeah. And have you been making your bed?
No.
Dude, make your bed. You might have an appetite.
Yeah, I guess that's true, you know. I'm never in the same bed, I feel like, very often. So it's like
Player. Getting pussy.
I'm at the hotels and such. But
I'm crying in the hotel.
yeah, if
Watching
I'm
romantic
going to
porn.
make a bed in my hotel, that's what the fucking lady that came from Mexico does.
Okay. Nice. Let me hit you with the same drop again.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan, you ever stay in a hotel and have the maid do it? It's really fun.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know anything about him other than what, podcasts talk about when he comes on. And the last time I heard him on Rogan, he was just like talking about how sick he was. So I don't, he was
You don't trust a sick guy?
he was dealing with his
opioid addiction or whatever.
autoimmune
Yeah,
disease or whatever the hell. So
yeah. All right, let's talk about Kanye. Do you have that article up there, Johnny? Kanye West has been spreading a rumor that Pete Davidson has AIDS.
now, did he spread the rumor that he has AIDS, or did Kanye West be like, was he like, Kim's all with this AIDS looking motherfucker? Like, was he
this
trying to just
AIDS-y-ass motherfucker.
throw a shot and someone's like, oh, Kanye says Pete has AIDS.
And you know what? Like, go to fucking FanDuel. Check out the odds of Pete Davidson have AIDS. They're not good odds. You put $100, you'll win $5 back. I promise you. Pete Davidson, of all the AIDS carriers, probably him.
If I'm Pete Davidson and Kanye West said I have AIDS, that would be the best thing that ever happened.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah, it's the best thing that ever
You
happened.
go, yeah,
to
I'm
me.
tagging your wife, and now
I'm
you're
giving her AIDS. Yeah, exactly. That's like also like a thing you can't like. You're not allowed to say somebody has AIDS
You're not allowed to say
into
it.
the press. It's like a slander thing.
It's slanderous.
Yeah. It's like saying too like herpes or whatever. You can't go like so and so has herpes like in the press.
You can't.
No.
Usher has herpes, right?
Who does?
Usher. Remember Usher?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Usher. Usher.
Usher.
Yeah.
You can't hear me because of my accent?
I didn't. I was like, who's that? I thought it was a comic or something.
Usher,
but
yeah. Usher.
does he have?
He was spreading the herp.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He was banging these girls.
And the
giving
girl
them
that came
herpes.
out about it was not. You were like, what are you doing, Usher?
Yeah, it's crazy sometimes. Like when you see who gets leaked to the press, you go, dude. Well, I get it.
But yeah, it's a numbers
I
thing
get
at that
it. You
point.
probably, you're not fucking them because you want to fuck.
No, you are just at this point. You are addicted to the pussy, and you're just fucking. It's
Addicted
just
to
a
the
straight
grip.
numbers game.
That grip is.
And if you have herpes, that's especially hard to get fucked. So
it's like I do think a lot of girls would be like, of all the people to give me herpes,
I've thought
I'm
about
glad
this.
it's Usher.
I've thought about this. There is a long list of women that I would accept herpes from.
Oh yes,
Yeah, without a doubt.
There's more women on the list than there are off the list.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because I had this sort of stance. I'm like, man, I can't think of like any reason I want. And then I go, nope. I started like doing the math in my head. I'm like, Sarah Michelle Gellar. I'm like going down the list of women. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely would get herpes for all these people.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's not even a close. So I wonder if you're right, Usher's on the list for women.
Also, you only have to catch herpes once, and then it's like, all right, I caught it now. It's like a weight off your chest where you go,
Yes.
I got it now. So
There was a
now
guy.
you don't have to worry about catching herpes ever for the rest of your life.
There was a guy in my hometown, like just outside of Buffalo, in a place called Jamestown, I believe. And this man, it was a crazy news story in like the 90s. He was raping women but he was AIDS or had AIDS when he was raping them. So not only was he raping them, he was giving them AIDS. Isn't that fucking nuts? He went to jail for like the longest time.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, he like gave women forcefully AIDS. That's the craziest type of rape. Could you imagine a worse rape scenario?
No.
Exactly. Like, I guess pregnancy is bad, but like getting raped and getting AIDS from it is like
you can live with AIDS.
Yeah.
You can't.
You can't live with a baby. You got to look at this thing all the time and be like, my rape.
That
baby.
is tough. Yeah, I do think that's probably. I'd rather have AIDS than a baby.
Yeah, you would.
Yes,
from a rape.
From a rape, I would rather have AIDS than a baby because I do think the baby's conflicting them. Because
you're saying if you gave birth to the baby as opposed to.
Yeah, I'm saying give birth to the baby.
Yeah.
Oh no, that doesn't count. I'm saying an abortion, whatever. But I'm saying raising a baby because then you're like you have the baby, you're naturally in love with the thing because it's part of you. But at the same time,
or do you have this like wild resentment towards it because it symbolizes this trauma moment? Yeah, exactly.
Possibly. I don't know.
And you see, it's like your attacker's face in the baby and stuff like that.
Do you raise your baby to be like, oh, how are you conceived? Oh, a guy caught me down an alleyway and raped me. I'm sure there are more than we even know. And then he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then he goes to school and he's like, yeah, my father.
Where's your father? Oh, and who
we don't know, but I kind of look like him a little.
Yeah.
But we don't know where he is at all.
Yeah, actually, can you use this to find him?
Years later, you get arrested for your mother's rape. He goes, you look just like the guy we're looking for. But imagine being raised as a rape baby. That's tough.
No, I know. And there are people out there that have that as their life, and I wonder what their opinions on like abortion are, because that's what everyone uses as the thing to justify it, is like incest and rape.
I know.
And so you're like, well, I'm a rape baby. I wouldn't have made it if it was like widely legalized, you know?
Yeah.
Or affordable or whatever.
Yes.
So then you go like, well, my life is no one's fighting for my life at this point, you know? That was the first time I even kind of rationalized that, and I'm a pro-life guy, or a choice guy, not life. I get them mixed up. I say that, and that's like the worst thing to get. It's the worst one to get mixed up. I'm like, I know. Well, of course I'm pro-life, and then you're like, wait a minute. No, I mean like.
And I've got like a pro-life joke that I do a bit. That I don't do it too often. And sometimes I'll flip it up, and then it doesn't even make sense. And they're just looking at you, and it's already risky for you to fuck it up. On top of that, it's just like them looking at you going. Even if I don't fuck it up, there's a good chance I'm bombing. When you fuck it up, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a weird, I would love to like interview somebody and be like, how did you tackle just any of your life, you know?
Yeah.
Growing up with that.
That's a sorrowful feeling though. Growing up just knowing that you're like,
I'm
a rape baby. There's not even like a nice word for it.
No.
Yeah. What are you?
Product of rape?
Unwanted?
Undesirable?
Collateral damage?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be some. There's not like
you got to hope that the mom just gives that baby up for adoption and then it finds a nice home and they go like, your parents died in a fire or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you got to hope that's the best case
scenario. You say is
right.
Yeah.
It's like, so then you think your parents are some Disney movie where they died on a ship or something like that, and you just have adoptive parents, you know?
But really, your father is Mexican.
Yeah.
Damn, I'll hit myself up a little. Get out of jail free. Sound drop every time I say something with too risky. That is the beauty of the sound drop.
Yeah.
Is to be like, all right.
Oh, moving on.
I was clearly kidding.
Yeah. Waka waka.
Haruga.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can ever say. Most women like being raped. But Pete Davidson, is there any truth to this? What's going on with Kanye?
It sounds like it's all kind of hearsay.
This is crazy to me, by the way, that Kanye West would be... I don't know if this... First of all, I don't believe in anything anymore when it comes to celebrities. I know comedians who are like the lowest level of celebrity, and the amount of lying that they do on a day-to-day basis in terms of branding and marketing. So it makes sense when they get to a certain point where it's just like, this must be staged. Remember, Pete Davidson was dating Kate Beckinsale, or whatever her name was. And this was right after the little girl broke up with him.
Yep.
And then, so he looked like a loser because he came out, he was broken up with, he said he was going to kill himself. And
Did he really?
Yeah.
He was pretty messed up over that?
Yeah, he was banged up.
Okay.
And he was tweeting that he was going to kill himself. So then the way they fixed it was
if I got to fuck Ariana
they took
Grande.
his Twitter away.
Oh, who did? His team?
I don't know.
Twitter?
I don't know if he did it or someone just was like, give me your Twitter.
If I got to fuck Ariana Grande and then she was like deuces, I also would be like, well, I'm never gonna put my dick in something that wonderful ever again, so I might as well die.
No,
and then he did it though.
No,
so.
but listen. There'll be more Ariana Grandes for Pete Davidson.
No, for sure. And that's the way I'm glad that he realized that. But I also, in that moment, would be like, I hit the top of the mountain.
But he's always he's just does so much more mountain for this guy.
Yeah, you're right. Well, now he's found quite the mountain, and
a 45-year-old.
Where does he go from here?
The younger sisters or something. The
No,
new age.
they're not as good though.
Well, whoever the new Kardashians will be.
Yeah,
whatever
I guess
they
that's
replace
true.
him with.
Yeah, he's got to fuck
There'll
like
always be new, younger, hotter women.
He's got to
This
fuck
is
like
the
Dixie D'Amelio or one of those chicks. Now,
Exactly,
you know?
for sure.
There's TikTok tail out there that Pete Davidson can throw.
There's a
out.
lot of hotties on TikTok that will be legal in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
And Pete's gonna be dating them.
Yeah.
This is the way it works. But I wouldn't be surprised when he was dating that. What was her name again? Kate Beckinsale or whatever.
Beckinsale.
He looked like a loser because she broke up with him, and he's all suicidal. And she's like hasn't been relevant for fucking 12 years. So next thing you know, the two of them are front row of a Knicks game, and they're tongue kissing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy behavior for anyone of any status, unless two celebrities at the front row tongue kissing.
Yeah.
If I saw you in a coffee shop kissing your wife, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Is wrong?
Yeah. Exactly.
What the fuck?
Oh, but you can best believe if I'm affording courtside tickets, I'm bringing a piece of ass and I am tongue kissing her up and down. I'm gonna be like, all right, here comes LeBron, let's go. Make sure, like, as the camera swept by, they'd catch us. Like Ari and Duncan at that UFC fight, I'd be like, every time the camera pans by, we have to make out. Just make me look cool. But
so who knows if that
Kanye is
was
pretty tore up over.
But then
Kim,
that's
though, it
crazy
seems.
though. I can't imagine coming out publicly after like my wife leaves me. I was like, oh, yo, this is just like move on.
He bought a house across the street from hers.
Well, he wants to be close to his kids, right?
Well, that's what
And
they used to make it sound not insane, but you know what I mean? It's still
he's
nuts.
building a watchtower. Like,
yeah, and then to be like,
he just has
he's got AIDS. I really feel like
yo, he's got AIDS.
I really feel like he just
AIDS.
auto-tuned.
Yeah.
I feel like he just was making fun of him and being like, he looks like he has AIDS or whatever. And then it got some in the press was like, oh, scandalous. And they said, Kanye accuses Pete Davidson of having AIDS, when really he was just talking shit, probably.
Yeah.
But now he'll run with it because he's Kanye. And he'll be like, he does have AIDS. I seen him. I seen the AIDS.
Jesus
Yeah.
said he has AIDS because he's gay, not the cool drugs way.
Kanye is a guy.
AIDS.
Kanye is a guy that does still believe that that's the only way you can get AIDS is being gay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't believe in needles. Well, that's the end of the podcast.
Oh,
Josh,
cool. Look at that. Went by so quick.
We'll plug some stuff up top too, but
oh, thank you. I just watch my podcast, The Josh Potter Show. It comes out every Tuesday on YouTube and on all the audio stuff, and subscribe to it and all that. Plus, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/The Josh Potter Show, and we got stuff going up there multiple times a week. So
great.
All those things, and check out some live shows.
What's your YouTube channel called?
The YouTube channel is youtube.com/The Josh Potter Show.
So if you're watching this, head over right now, leave a comment, say you saw him on this podcast. It's good for the communities to meet.
It's fun.
Just say this is what we sent you. I want people to know that this podcast does actually send people over there.
That's great.
Because it's a big thing of like, oh yeah, go check it out. Actually go over and say, hey Josh, I love your face. Say we love your face, Josh.
You don't have to lie.
All right, say he has a good personality and his face is horrible. But just do something. Let them know that the Colum Tyrrell bump is real.
Hell
There may
yeah.
not be many of us, but we have nothing going on.
That's
right?
great. Hey,
We've got a lot of time for this shit.
come on over. We're the same way. So, and then when you get to LA, you should come on the show.
I'd love
obviously.
to. I'd love to.
love it.
I'll talk afterwards. I'll
Hell
organize
yeah.
some dates. Yeah, and then make sure you go check out Josh live. Great
Yeah.
comedian.
Thank you.
All right, peace out, everybody. Thank you.